goods and service tax is based on two cardinal principles. Number one, the approach has to be comprehensive. The tax base has to be larger. And secondly, exemptions have to be fewer. Now what will happen because of this? You have a large tax base, you have a comprehensive approach, and your exemptions are few. What are we going to gain out of this? With the advent of GST, what we expect is that, number one, the rate should be uniform throughout the country. This is the people's wish list, number one. The procedure should be uniform throughout the country. And tax should be business neutral. And being consumption tax, ultimately we must be able to transfer these taxes to the consumer. Now these are broadly the gains which we are going to get from the GST. Now in the new approach, what we are attempting is that we are trying to define service, and as explained earlier, from there we will be moving towards the negative list and the exempt list. Which means if an activity is a service, then one has to cross-check with the negative list and the exempt list to make sure to come to the answer whether I should pay the tax or not, whether my activity is taxable or not. Now what were the problems in the old approach, that is the positive list approach? All of us know there was a lot of hair splitting about what is providing, what is rendering. There were a number of discussions and debates on whether services are provided or services are rendered. Somebody raises a question whether services are consumed or whether services are received. These are really issues which have come about in the past 18 years. When we moved into service tax in 1994, there were a few services which were basically in the realm of government services. We wanted to tax telephone, we wanted to tax insurance, so that play it safe. Subsequently, a number of pronouncements came in which it was said that you can tax services under the residual power given to you under the Constitution. So the union's position as far as taxation of services became strengthened. Now, slowly, from being 3 services, we started expanding, and we had 119 services at the end. And overall, there were 400 definitions to support these 119 taxable services. This led to a number of problems. And we all know that in each service there was exclusion, each service had an inclusion, and as we expanded, we were not sure where the inclusion or exclusion would be and where the classification would be. Now, in this kind of a situation, when there was overlap between various definitions, there was a classification issue. We thought we have really reached the dead end, and we